Hello, I'm Valerie. The posture I will demonstrate in this video is downward facing dog or Adho Mukha Svanasana. I'm going to cover proper alignment for the pose, as well as a couple of the modifications you can use depending on your level of strength and flexibility. We're going to begin in tabletop on the hands and knees. The knees are slightly behind the hips, open at hip width. The hands are slightly in front of the shoulders, open shoulder width. All of the fingers are spread evenly. Now, plank pose is a good gauge of distance between the hands and feet for downward facing dog. So for plank pose, we're going to lift the knees off the floor, walk the feet back so the heels are above the toes, and bring the shoulders slightly behind the wrists or above the wrists. From plank pose without moving the hands or feet, the tailbone lifts up to an inverted V position. So if you do this with your legs straight and your back body is tight, you may feel rounding of your spine and your shoulders extending forward. In that case, you can try bending the knees, drawing the tailbone back and up away from the hands to lengthen your spine. Your belly stays close to the thighs. Weight in the hands is in front of the palms, at the knuckle pads, especially the base of the thumb and index finger knuckle pads, all of your finger pads, and the outer thumb lines. This keeps the center of the wrist lifted to reduce the pressure at the wrists. That shift inward at the hands comes from the action of spiraling the forearms inward. A soft bend in the elbows and slight lateral or outward rotation of the upper arms draws the shoulder blades slightly away from the spine, which creates space in the front of the chest and protects the shoulder joint. When you're open to more flexibility, the legs are straight and the heels toward the floor. One of the modifications you can use, if your legs are tight, is bending the knees and opening the legs wider than hip width until the lower back and glutes become more flexible. You can also use blocks for the hands if wrist flexibility is an issue. This helps to bring more weight back to the legs and helps to forward tilt the pelvis while reducing the stretch to the hamstrings if needed. This posture both strengthens and stretches the body and is also an inversion, which aids blood circulation and helps bronchial and asthma conditions. Sciatic and lower back pain can also be reduced with consistent practice of this pose. It's also a great way to start your day, to energize and stretch your body after you wake up. Thank you so much for watching. Namaste.